Picture this, it's May 7th, 2025. You're at the airport. You packed. You're ready. But at the TSA checkpoint, you're stopped. Your ID isn't accepted anymore. If you're undocumented or confused about the real ID rules, this could happen to you. The good news, there's still one document that can get you through security safely and legally. Let's break it down, because this information could literally protect your freedom to move. Can undocumented immigrants still fly within the U.S. after May 7th? Short answer, yes, but with conditions. There are safe ways to board domestic flights without a real ID. We'll cover what the Real ID Act really means, who it affects most, which documents you can use instead, and the hidden risks of traveling while undocumented in 2025. What exactly is the Real ID Act? The Real ID Act was passed back in 2005 after September 11th to tighten security around government-issued IDs. It forces states to meet strict standards when issuing driver's licenses, verifying things like lawful immigration status and legal presence. Real ID-compliant licenses have a small star symbol in the upper right corner. Starting May 7, 2025, without a real ID or another accepted ID, you won't be allowed to board domestic flights, enter federal buildings, or access certain secure locations. After nearly 20 years of delay, enforcement is finally happening. No real ID equals no flight. Unless, of course, you know the alternatives, which we'll explain shortly. What's not a real ID? Many people assume that any government-issued ID works. That's no longer true. For example, California's AB 60 licenses for undocumented immigrants, not valid. State IDs that say federal limits apply, also not valid. These IDs are fine for driving or state-level identification, but TSA will not accept them for flying. If you relied on these licenses in the past, you'll need another option starting May 7th. Acceptable alternatives. What you can show TSA. Thankfully, TSA still accepts several other IDs for boarding domestic flights, including foreign government-issued passports, U.S. green cards, permanent resident cards, employment authorization documents, U.S. military IDs, DHS trusted traveler cards like Global Entry, Nexus, or Sentry. Even if you're undocumented, an unexpired foreign passport can get you through TSA for domestic flights only. This has been officially confirmed by TSA and immigration attorneys. Real-world example, flying with a foreign passport. Let's say you're a Filipino national out of status living in New Jersey. A family emergency requires you to fly to San Francisco. If you have your valid Philippine passport, you can present it to TSA security and board your domestic flight. No real ID, no green card, no visa proof needed, just the unexpired passport. Important: TSA officers check ID authenticity, not immigration status. They are not ICE agents. They don't check your deportation records at security line. However, if your ID seems fake or suspicious, you could face secondary inspection, which might involve law enforcement. Always ensure your passport is valid and genuine. Warning: do not fly internationally if out of status. This rule only applies to domestic flights. Flying internationally is extremely risky if you're undocumented. Leaving the U.S. while out of status could trigger a 3-year re-entry bar if you've been unlawfully present for 180 to 364 days, a 10-year re-entry bar if unlawfully present for over 1 year. In short, you can fly from Florida to New York, but do not fly to Mexico, the Philippines, Canada, or anywhere else if you're undocumented or out of status. If you do, you'll likely be barred from returning to the United States. Are states helping or hurting? Some states like California, New York, Illinois, New Jersey, and Maryland still issue limited-use driver's licenses to undocumented immigrants. These licenses are fantastic for driving legally, day-to-day ID within the state. But they will not work at TSA checkpoints after May 7, 2025. Federal rules override state-friendly laws at airports. Bigger risks under Trump's new administration. Let's be honest. The Real ID enforcement timing isn't accidental. Trump's renewed administration is cracking down harder on immigration. We're already hearing Increased ICE activity near airports. Foreign passport holders facing more questioning. Random security checks becoming more common even on domestic flights. While TSA agents aren't ICE, any federal encounter carries more risk now, even for green card holders and naturalized citizens. Fear is real, even for those with legal status. Green card holders, you're safe to fly. Good news if you have a green card. Your permanent resident card is a TSA accepted ID. You can use it confidently for domestic flights. Still, many green card holders are nervous, wondering if carrying foreign passports or flying internationally could invite scrutiny. Short answer: domestically, you're safe. Internationally, speak to an immigration lawyer first if you have concerns. How to protect yourself: path to legalization. If you're undocumented or out of status, flying with your passport is a temporary solution, not a long-term one. You may qualify for legal relief without even realizing it. Marriage to a U.S. citizen. U visa for crime victims. DOA for abuse survivors. Asylum for those fearing persecution. DACA if reintroduced. Speak only with licensed immigration attorneys. Notarios and unofficial advisors could cost you your future. Final recap: what you must know. Let's wrap it all up. May 7th, 2025, Real ID enforcement starts. Domestic flights, foreign passports, and green cards are still accepted. No real ID? No worries if you have an approved alternative. International flights, extremely risky if undocumented. Do not attempt. Driving privilege cards, not accepted by TSA. Traveling while undocumented, technically legal domestically, but still risky. Best advice: seek legal status as soon as possible. We know this is a stressful time. Our goal is to give you facts, preparation, and power. If you found this video helpful, please like this video, subscribe to BorderDrip USA, and hit the bell icon so you never miss critical updates. Thank you for watching. Stay safe, stay aware, stay empowered.